私はできるようだな。このベジータ様とやり合えるとはなかなかだ。
What's going on, guys? Forever One Ghost here, coming back at you with another awesome video. Today I got another special guest with me today. It's my main man, Pawrado. Say what's up, my friend.
Hey, what's up, man? Thanks for having me here on the channel. I definitely appreciate it, man.
Always a pleasure to have you, brother. If you guys don't know, me and my main man, Mr. Pawrado, have done a lot of great videos together, which is the Roundtable. If you haven't checked that out, I'll leave a link to his channel in the description below where you can check it out and enjoy yourself a great conversation amongst us, myself and Mr. Baby, and of course Gotcha Talkers is one of them, who's another good friend. So make sure to support those guys. But great to have you here, man. I wanted to talk to you about what's been going on today with Global, including with what's going on with the banner that's out on the Global side for Dokkan. So essentially what's going on is that the banner was essentially messed up, where the UI Goku drop is essentially only at the final stage of the summons, and people were upset at the fact that the raids were kind of messed up for it or something like that. I'm not sure if I'm accurate to that point, but I've been hearing a lot of things going on where, oh, they did a JP, they're gonna give us 300 stones. It's unlikely. What are your thoughts on that?
So the 300 stones thing was kind of, well, the stone thing in general was kind of new to me until, I want to say roughly this morning, at the day this is coming out, or the day we're recording.
Right.
But
I found out last night as well.
I think that UI should have been on there, to be honest. Just because I feel like that's a good way to encompass the year, and they have his art all over the campaign, but yet he's not on the banner.
Right.
So I think that was the biggest letdown, is you advertised with somebody but didn't follow through with it.
A lot of people were upset at the fact that the Goku wasn't there and he wasn't in the banner, but he was showcased in many other graphics and many other things that were being promoted for the new year, as exactly as it may be. Also, another thing before we keep talking about Dokkan, how was New Year's, my friend?
It was pretty good, man. Just relaxed, really.
That's awesome to hear, brother. I'm glad to hear it. Start the new year right, start the new year grinding. So yeah, I definitely am upset at the fact that that's gone down, but I don't think Dokkan Global is going to give us the same attention as for what JP did for the Japanese side. I don't think in any way that's going to happen. I essentially think what's going down is that they're going to make the essential fix, apologize, and probably reward us with one stone. Now, I made this same conversation with someone else, and he told me that doesn't make any sense. Why would they just do that? Because a lot of people did summon on it, and I agree. There are a lot of people who did summon on it under the fact that they were thinking they were going to get a UI Goku. But at the same time, do you really... I essentially, yes, I obviously think you should blame them for advertising or false advertising. But at the same time, I'm sure that they're more than aware of that. And obviously, a lot of people were saying that these guys are on vacation. They're coming back from vacation after the new year, and they're essentially going to fix this. Do you think that there should be a good compensation? Nothing too crazy, but fair enough for everybody to get?
Yeah, I think in any way, shape, or the form, false advertising should be dealt with accordingly. Mainly because if you're promoting UI Goku and there's still people that haven't gotten him, and they're like, okay, well, I have a guaranteed. So the only thing I don't like about this, where it's arguably, and I'll say it afterwards, is they use all these graphics for the banner. And then so you're thinking he's on there. However, if you do check the news, it does state which LRs they did throw on there. So technically, that's like their one loophole out, is it's in the news of, hey, we kind of said these people weren't going to be on there, kind of deal.
Yeah.
Which is, I'm not going to say necessarily shady on them for doing. However, as a business standpoint, that would be like the way out for it in a way.
No, I agree. I think that there should be more transparency with that. But obviously, you are right that they could use that as a factor in as to, yeah, we did say that these units weren't on there, but then also these units weren't going to be on there. That could be their way out of it. But then also we go back to the fact that they were promoting him like crazy to be on this banner, but then essentially he's not. So that's a 50-50, and I agree with you to that point. Now, the next thing I want to talk to you about is I am a big fan of One Piece, and so are you. We love One Piece. We enjoy One Piece, and you do play a lot of different mobile games for One Piece, including Bounty Rush and, of course, One Piece Treasure Cruise. What exactly made you fall in love with these games, and what essentially brought you to these games, aside from the fact that the shows are great and all that?
So the main thing that made me, I originally started playing Treasure Cruise. I played it forever ago, and I dropped it forever ago as well. And that was on my first account. And then I started heavy on a second account where I tried to pick up the game a whole lot more. And then I got stuck at not even necessarily like a level blockage. It was just I was getting stuck at stages. I was getting new characters, and I still wasn't able to get past some stuff. So eventually, that was the main reason why I was put down a second time. I kept up with it somewhat. I'd log in every now and then just to see, like pretty much for the comeback campaigns. And then, then I got into Bounty Rush, and I enjoyed it because it was One Piece's. I'm gonna say this very loosely. It's One Piece's attempt at what they did with Dragon Ball Legends, where it's more of a 3D model. It's PvP based, and to me, it's a little bit more interactive. Because you do have to have the timing and everything for Treasure Cruise. However, you get to run around and do stuff on Bounty Rush, and it has different attack animations and whatnot. So that's one thing I've stuck with a lot. And to me, Bounty Rush is a little bit more free to play friendly than Treasure Cruise as well, which is always a big plus, especially when you want to do minimal to no spending.
Yeah, I agree. I love One Piece Treasure Cruise. I fell in love with it mostly a year ago when I got into the 5th year anniversary for it. I essentially loved the show. Obviously, I was watching the shows all the way up to now. If I'm not mistaken, and correct me if I'm wrong here, the latest episode we're on for One Piece is 956. Correct? If I'm wrong, please let me know.
I believe so.
Okay.
I checked it earlier to see if they dropped another one.
Okay, because that's the last episode I finished watching, and I wanted to be sure. But anyway, I do love One Piece. I've been a big fan of One Piece for a very, very long time, and seeing this game, obviously, I was a big Dokkan fan. I've been playing Dokkan for the last 5 years, and then going into another game, I essentially did love One Piece, but at the time, the phone that I had, I didn't have enough space for it, and it broke my heart to not be able to play it again. And then essentially I got a new phone, and then I got it back, and I essentially regrinded everything and got everything. The biggest thing with me in One Piece Treasure Cruise is the difference with Bounty Rush. I think you can help me with this a lot better than I could, because I don't play Bounty Rush, and you can probably tell me a bit more of that than you can compare it with Treasure Cruise. Is the different abilities and link skills and the attributes that Captain have, or most of these captains have, whether they're rainbow types or they're usually powerhouse, striker, slasher, shooter, etc. That's kind of the essential for what Treasure Cruise is, based off of the strongest characters you can build. They can help essentially build the best crew you can get. Essentially, most of the banners that usually come out in Treasure Cruise are essentially the banners that you want to summon on to complete the entire crew and get the captain that's involved in that. How does Bounty Rush at the same expense work in that way? Does that work the same way as Treasure Cruise, or is it a different mechanic?
It works. You can make a team out of whatever really on Bounty Rush. So the way it works is everybody has tags, but there's no if you use this person, like if you use Luffy, then Zoro gets a boost or whatever. There's no specific tie off that. You have your link 1 and link 2s, or skill 1, skill 2s that do specific things. And the way that they kind of tie in people's tags, so that way you can kind of have some synergy with everybody, is what they do is everybody has certain tags. So, and then you have your 2 main characters you use, and then you have a support bench roster. And on that support bench roster, you can make it all Navy people, and you'll have a huge Navy boost, and it'll tell you what that what that boost specifically does. Or you can do they have one for Worst Generation, the 7 Warlords, one just if they happen the Straw Hats happen to have met you on the Grand Line, they're thrown on a Grand Line tag. There's just a lot of different tags like that play the bench boost your overall party score. But as far as forming a team, you can really grab any 2 characters and make a team out of them. And then you do have they have medals on there as well. And then if you match the medals to have synergy as well. So, and they have event medals. So like right now they have Wano. Wano's not, yeah, it's Wano. I cannot think of his name. Frankie and Wano Usopp. So between those 2, you will have Wano as a tag, Straw Hat Pirates as a tag. I think 2 years later is one. That's probably all you'll get out of those, and then you have different ones where, like if you do Blackbeard and Luffy, you'll get Captain as a tag, Paramecia as a tag, the Marine Ford, and stuff like that. And each of the tags, whenever they have a matching counterpart, they trigger additional effects that make you better in PvP.
Okay. So essentially, they're like links. So essentially, if this person has a link that's strong, just like your link, it'll essentially activate that link to make the entire crew stronger.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. I like that. I know, because the reason I brought it up is because Treasure Cruise is really based off of, like, I think essentially I can call them categories: powerhouse, slasher, shooters, cerebral, all those kind of types of categories that are on essentially One Piece Treasure Cruise. And I love One Piece Treasure Cruise because I essentially love it because it reminds me of Dokkan in the sense of category, not really sensible like categories, more sensible like different styles and types and effects and stuff like that, like their captain's ability, their special charge abilities, and their overall co-captain abilities that they can do and provide, which is one of the things that attracted me to One Piece Treasure Cruise. And of course, I've been seeing a lot of your content with Bounty Rush, and I do love enjoying your summonings and of course your content that you overall provide. So essentially the games you do play on there is Bounty Rush, Dokkan, and many others included, correct?
Just Legends. I was trying to do more console games, but it was just a lot.
They never drew your interest?
No, they did. It was just a lot to manage between life, life, and then keeping up with all those games was just a lot. So I just bit the latter of the 3 and just stuck to mobile gaming for now.
Okay.
And I do have on my Twitch, which I have plans on coming back to. I'll probably bring up on console gaming on there and bring that back, because I did enjoy it, and I have a crap ton of games that I got with the intentions of beating during my YouTube journey, and just they've been shelved. So.
Oh no, that's awesome, man, and I can't wait to see your streams as well. One of the great things about this is when I first met you, we spoke on Twitter the first time a few times and through direct DMs, obviously. And you're a growing content creator, and your content was fantastic. I've always told you this, or I'm sure I've told you this. And seeing someone like yourself and many others that I've gotten to meet was a great joy, because obviously I wanted to be a part of a circle that I can create content and enjoy content and be able to, socialize with others that can understand the grind and the hard work that it takes to become a content creator, especially with a lot of various content creators that do play One Piece, Legends, Bounty Rush, Treasure Cruise, or any even console games to that extent. Essentially know the ideas of what it takes to be a very good content creator and essentially be somewhere in the lines of good enough, and great. So my next question to you is, brother, do you always feel that those who are new to the game of, let's say, Bounty Rush, Treasure Cruise, or Dokkan, do you feel at some point that those who don't know get ridiculed a little too much because they don't know enough? Or do you think that it's guys like us that should be the leaders and explain to them how these games work. Now, essentially, there are people who do try to help them, but some just don't get it. So how would you approach them?
I mean, I'm open. I definitely have an open forum whenever someone has a question.
Mm-hmm.
There's been a couple people who have dropped questions, and I'll answer them either on comments or if I know it's going to be lengthy, then I'll have them DM me. But I definitely try to give guidance, especially on the best of the subjects I know how to. It's just, unfortunately, you can't get rid of the toxicity that is in the gaming community. It's
100%.
Sadly something that's probably not going to go away as much. Only because of people just feel the need to ridicule I can't even say the word, make fun of those, and to make themselves feel better, which is crazy. And especially at the end of the day, where you might be great at this mobile game and you're calling somebody essentially pathetic because they can't tap a certain portion of the phone as fast, which is just mind-blowing on how some of these people think. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's nothing too to take seriously. If people are getting ridiculed over a game, I mean, it's somebody over the internet that you're never going to meet. And most of them are trolling anyway, so
100%. And I think, I've been in that position myself where I've lost my temper a few times when I see new people play Dokkan or play One Piece. I'm like, what are you doing? And I'm at fault for that, and I take full responsibility for that. But then there's also that time where you have to be a much bigger person and show them the way. Essentially just telling them certain things in a positive manner and saying, hey, try this out and try this method out. I think it'll work out. Some of them do take it with positivity. Some of them take it as like, what are you doing ridiculing me, in a sense, right? So not a lot of people always take criticism the best way possible. I was one of them as well. I didn't like being criticized about certain things. And that did infuriate me because I always tried to learn things my way, and the best way that I knew how was to do it myself. That's essentially how life works. If you want to do something, try it, and if you can't do it, then that's essentially it telling you can't do it. But as a content creator, simplifying the competition. Now, I've mentioned this in a previous recording with someone else, and I also wanted your thoughts on it. Do you also believe that Dokkan has become a race to release the best content possible? Everything that's being released, from information, new characters, new categories, essentially anything and anything you can get information on, you have to be on the races to post it before the one person does. How do you feel about that?
I think that's just the YouTube grind in general, to be honest. Especially with, I would say, if you stay with Dokkan, and if your channel revolves around dropping news, then you have to be on it, which
100%.
changes what your schedule has to be around. But like for me, I rarely cover news. So as far as news that I really get into is if there is video footage of characters dropping, which One Piece Bounty Rush does, and I'll try to screen record that and get it out.
No, I see. Which is great.
And that's mainly just to give everybody a heads up of, hey, this is coming. And it's not, I'm not even going in detail of it. I'm just putting it out there. But for like Dokkan and everything, if your channel gives out news, then you have to be a race on it. But it all depends on what you want to do. Now, when it comes to like summons and everything, then I don't necessarily race with those with smaller channels. I'll get it out when I can, and I want to get it out as fast as possible, which is kind of what I'm debating with Golden Frieza right now. However, as you really have a fighting chance as long as you get it out before the bigger YouTubers get out that generate 30 to 40,000 views per video, 30 to 40 plus thousand views per video, because then that destroys the ranking with everything. So as long as you can get your momentum going beforehand, then you'll be good afterwards. But as far as racing for everybody else, it can be, it can be and has to be a race if you're news oriented. However, at the end of the day, everybody on the internet, say if you're summoning for Golden Frieza and you in one video you got him to 89%. You say you have a hype video coming out for Golden Frieza, people are gonna watch it regardless, because you have people that love the troll, unfortunately, but then people generate it towards success. So they are going to want to watch your video because not only is it something good, but it's something that's going to be fun and exciting to watch as well, because there's hype behind it.
Oh yeah, I definitely agree, especially with this card coming out now for the global side. He's going to be awesome, and I definitely am going to be seeing a lot of summoning videos out there as well, essentially from you and many others that do summon on there as well. I definitely am looking into the future of Dokkan, and I've always looked into what's the best choices for those who are new to the community of Dokkan, or even One Piece in general. I always try to advise them in a direction that makes sense, essentially with, you know, being at the races for making content like you, Pawrado. And essentially, if you're a news person that does discuss topics of newsworthy discussions like Dokkan, or essentially new cards and categories, then yeah, you have to be on point. And those that are just grinders that want to get content down as soon as possible, then you essentially have to do the same to some point. But I definitely agree with you that it's a double-edged sword. Now you can either make it on time and make the video, or the much bigger content creator makes the video and they drop it and they get like 10,000 plus views or 20,000 plus views. That's essentially what's come down to. But I think with the gaming community in itself and the progression that it's going into now, what do you hope for any mobile game, essentially, for the most popular ones like Bounty Rush or One Piece or Dokkan, or even like Among Us or any of those kind of games? What do you expect to see the change coming in for 2021?
That hopefully they can just be around as long as possible. Because at the end of the day, it's a mobile game, and Rhyme has said it multiple times that these mobile games don't last forever. No, eventually they'll burn out, which we saw with Naruto Blazing. Unfortunately, and I mean, it's only a matter of time, so you can only wish for their success as much as it goes. But for things I want to see is, honestly, I could take a PvP version of, I don't know how they'll do it or implement it in Dokkan, that's similar to the Kakarot side game that they have.
You want like an open world kind of fighting style game like that, like for Dokkan?
No. They have a card turn-based side game on Kakarot.
I got you. Yeah, I've seen that on YouTube, where they essentially added in like a slot machine where you can get cards, and you essentially can like summon them on the field, and they fight essentially in the game. Yeah, I've seen that. It's actually pretty dope, and that'd be cool to see.
Yeah.
So I definitely love making content with you, and I think I brought this up in our previous conversations when we did the roundtables. I enjoy doing them, and I know you do as well. It's always a great joy to bring up great discussions like that amongst ourselves, including Mr. Baby as well, and essentially just talking about, you know, what we expect and what's to come. And I definitely think with Dokkan and a lot of other mobile games, a lot of gacha games, they're always going to step up their game, and at some point in time they'll eventually die out, because it happened in Naruto Blazing. It could happen to any one of those other games. So we essentially have to enjoy what we have now and just be happy until that point. But I definitely, the biggest thing I want to bring up in this conversation as well is I definitely want to do One Piece Treasure Cruise content with you, because I think I don't have that many people who do play it, obviously, and I just gotten back into it maybe about a month ago, going into it now. And I know that you're starting to pick it up again, and probably at some point, maybe if you do or don't, might even make content around it again. If you do, then that'd be awesome, because I'd definitely be watching that, as well as I watch a lot of your Bounty Rush content. I essentially would love to do some of that if you're down to do that as well, brother. So just throwing that gauntlet out there as well. So I definitely want to start trying to do that as well, and create, you know, just as much good content, whether it be summonings or races or stuff like that.
All right, sounds good, man.
Yeah, definitely. And I do appreciate you coming by to the channel, brother. It means a lot to me. Hopefully everyone that has seen this or will be seeing this will be releasing on Friday of next week. Hopefully you all have a fantastic rest of the weekend. And obviously, if you guys want to see more content like this, make sure to slap a like on this video. Leave a comment in the comments below what you're expecting from any of the games we brought up in conversation here. Just leave it in the comments below. And also, if you do enjoy this video, make sure to subscribe to the channel. And also, make sure to support my man, Mr. Pawrado here. And make sure to thank him for coming by to the channel here and hanging out with us today, man. So, as always, stay awesome. Keep playing Dokkan. And I'll hopefully see you guys next time.